Hello everyone. Namaste and welcome to this virtual info and Facebook live session of Kaplan Business School, Australia. This is Umesh Tungal, Director of Shatakshee Educational Foundation. Shatakshee Educational Foundation, Dillibazar, Kathmandu is an innovative, attentive and specialist educational consultancy to provide accurate, reliable and unbiased career counseling to the abroad aspiring students for their study in Australia, USA, UK, Canada, New Zealand, Japan, South Korea, India, Bangladesh, and Europe. And we are serving since last 14 years. All the participants are muted, so you are requested to put your questions in Zoom chat box or Facebook comment so that our speakers will answer in question and answer session. You will be receiving the answer of your questions by this evening today in your email. If in case we are not able to cover all of your questions due to time restriction, I understand all the participants are very much excited to learn what Kaplan Business School Australia or specialist provider of globally recognized higher education has to offer for international students to develop their career in business, accounting, marketing, management, tourism, entrepreneurship, health services, digital management, analytics, project management, and leadership. So, without further ado, please join me welcoming our keynote speakers of today's session. They are respected Gobi Muthaswamy, Senior Regional Manager, South Asia and China, and Srisha Ray Chowdhury, Market Manager, South Asia at Kaplan Business School, Australia. You are most welcome, Mr. Govi and Srisha.
Thank you very much, Umesh.
I would like to welcome Mr. Praveen Bhandari, our Global Director. Welcome all the participants. Let me tell this now, this live session covers an overview of the Kaplan Business School, Australia, courses and entry requirements, admission process, funding and scholarships during and post-COVID situation, recent updates from Australian government, accommodation and student life at KBS, and question and session. Let me welcome respected Gobi, Senior Regional Manager, South Asia and China, with the request to begin with a brief introduction about Kaplan Business School.
That's great. Thank you, Umesh. It's always wonderful to join with you, albeit in Zoom session or a Facebook session. As you know, Umesh, I've been coming down to Nepal quite often. And unfortunately, with the pandemic, all of us have this restriction of when it comes to travels. But I have a special love for Nepal. And in fact, I've always been telling a lot of my colleagues here in Kaplan, Nepal is my favorite destination. If I'm doing a visit, it's always Nepal for me. But 2020 had not been a possibility for me to travel to Nepal, but hopefully you as well as the participants here, I'll be able to meet them in Nepal, or most probably I think the students will be seeing me here than me seeing them in Nepal. So thank you for the opportunity, first of all. My name is Gobi Muthaswamy, as Umesh already has introduced. I'm with my colleague, Shatakshee Chowdhury, who is the market specialist when it comes to South Asia. She is the market manager, and she is based in Delhi office. And it's great to have Shatakshee today as well. So we'll be covering all the questions maybe at the end. But if you have any questions, please put forward the questions in the comment section, and we'll be able to answer it at the end of when we come into the question and answer session. Or we might be able to, you can unmute yourself at that stage. It all depends, of course. I would like to ask Umesh for that and ask those questions. Let me briefly introduce Kaplan Business School. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen first. Is that okay, Umesh, for me to share the screen?
Please. Most welcome.
Great. I'll share the screen and I'll try and go through some of the details with you in terms of Kaplan Business School. And some of you may have heard of the brand name Kaplan, because Kaplan Business School is part of Kaplan Inc., the Kaplan Global Network. We are in 30 countries, 400 locations, one of the truly global institution, any academic institution that you would find. Now in Nepal, if you are studying CIMA or ACCA, for an example, accounting courses, you would be carrying Kaplan books, and that's the Kaplan publisher. It's a truly global network of education providers. So we are in 30 countries, 400 locations, as I mentioned. We recruit more than 1 million students around the world. So that's as the strength of Kaplan. We are truly global and we are truly connected. So when you get a qualification from Kaplan Business School in Australia and take that qualification to any parts of the world, because a brand name is so valuably recognized, your qualification also will be recognized around the world. And that's the advantage of having a qualification at Kaplan. Now, when it comes to Kaplan Business School, I'll go through a few details before I go through the campus details and so on. When you can come to Kaplan Business School, you can expect two things that I can give you more details on. One is individual support. Now, when you come from Nepal, Nepal is a country where your education system is slightly different to the Australian education system. And there is a major gap between the way education is delivered. What we do at Kaplan Business School is give you that individual support when it comes to administrative support, when it comes to academic support, when it comes to career support, we offer an individual support. And the classroom size is around 25 students average in any of our campuses. So you get that individual attention from the lecturers too. And that's the individual support that we can talk about. And I'll go through some of the verifiable external verification institutions that I've actually recognized way of our style of delivery in Kaplan Business School. The second thing that I can talk about is the real world relevancy. When I say real world relevancy, the way we teach our students, our cohorts of students, is slightly different to the other institutions. We focus on career focused delivery. So our focus on theoretical elements is matched with the practical elements. So we bring in lecturers from the industry, and our students, 91% of our graduate from our postgraduate qualifications are employed in the industry in their relevant qualifications. And that's the strength about Kaplan Business School is the focus on real world relevance. And we offer smaller classroom, as I mentioned, and industry experienced lecturers in a small classroom. And we have moved away from teaching style as well. So we moved away from teaching. What we have is workshop focused delivery. It's more practical delivery that we have in our classrooms. And we also have moved away from final exams. And you would be wondering, okay, how do we do assessments then? Our assessments are more practically focused assessment, and that is relevant for the industry. So 70% of our subjects do not have final exams. The final exams that you would find at Kaplan Business School, you will have it for law subjects, accounting subjects, and statistics subjects. Only one particular statistics subjects. All the other subjects will not have final exams. So when you qualify from Kaplan Business School, one thing that you can go confidence to the world is this qualification is not only giving you a paper qualification, but also the soft skills that you would really need to find a job in the industry. And that's been our success at Kaplan Business School, is to be able to place students in the real workforce. And we also offer internship as part of our qualification. So every single master's qualification that is 2 years duration, and every bachelor degree qualification that is 2 years, 3 years duration, will have internship as part of the course as well. And those are some of the things that we can talk about at that we do very well at Kaplan Business School. So when you come into Kaplan, you will be taken care of very well. And your future, you can go with confidence that we are giving you something so important, something that is more valuable, more practical, that you can use it for the real world career opportunities that you may find not only in Australia, but around the world. Let me go into the next slide. Now, this is something that I would like to talk about because it's when we say small classrooms and individual personalized education and career focused delivery and all that, it needs to be backed by independently verifiable source. These are the independently verifiable source that you can find. Kaplan Business School was the finalist in Australian Financial Review Award in the higher education category. Now, when you look at this particular award, there are only 23 Australian providers listed in the award, and all of them are high-ranking universities. But Kaplan Business School is the only private provider to be listed in the Australian Financial Review Award. That is the higher education category. The other awards are the Pioneer Awards of 2020. Kaplan Business School is the only provider in Australia to have been selected as the finalist for 2 awards. One is for our MBA qualification. Second is for our career services that we offer. Now, Pioneer Awards is a global awards, and we have that recognition in that particular award. Third one is the Australian independently verifiable quality indicator that is funded by the federal government of Australia called Quilt Statistics. Now you can go into Quilt just by typing in Google Quilt, and you can look at the provider scoring. There are 5 categories that they score. And Kaplan Business School, when you look at Kaplan Business School scoring compared to our competitors, Kaplan Business School is above every single public university in the metrics of student support and overall quality of education. These are the independently verifiable source that I can give you to back up the individual focus that we give to our students and the career opportunity that will be created from Kaplan Business School's courses. So these are the things that I could give you in terms of why you need to study at Kaplan Business School. And another major advantage that your students, Umesh, will have is the sheer breadth of our campuses in Australia. Now, Prabin, who is one of the directors of Shatakshee, currently sits in Brisbane, and that is, we have a campus there. And we have a campus in Sydney. We have a campus in Melbourne. And I'm currently safely sitting in Adelaide campus. That is the campus that we have in Adelaide. And we have a Perth campus as well. So during the pandemic, we decided to open up a new campus, which is in Perth. We started the middle of this year, and that is going very strong. So we have 5 campuses in Australia for students to select from. And one of the advantages of studying at Kaplan Business School is that if a student comes into, for an example, Sydney, and then once they land in Sydney, if they find out, oh, Sydney is not for me, doesn't suit me very well, they can then pack their bags and go to the campus and say, I'm going to move to Adelaide campus, or Perth campus, or Melbourne campus, or Brisbane campus. And there is a form to fill, that's all you need to fill, and then that's it. Pack the bags and take the next flight and go to the other campus. Providing the flights are available, of course, during this pandemic. But of course, we come out of the pandemic, these options will be available at Kaplan Business School as well. Another advantage that we can talk about is the nationality mix. Now, when you go into a particular provider in Australia, some institutions will have large amount of one particular nationality studying in their campuses. Now, G8 universities will have largely Chinese students, and that's a given. When you go to the lower tier universities, you will have largely Indian students because that's the second largest student cohorts that come into Australia. But Kaplan Business School, you can expect 83 nationalities studying here. And you'll see this pie chart, and it looks that Indian students seem to be dominating in our classroom, but it's not true. It's only about 25% of the students in our classroom. So if you have 10 students in our classroom, 2 to 3 students may be from India, 2 to 3 students can come from China, 2 to 3 from Vietnam, 2 to 3 students from Nepal, maybe 1 or 2 students from Brazil, and then all the other countries, maybe 1 student each. And you can see one particular nationality do not dominate in our classroom. And this is one of the confidence that you can have as well. that when you come into the campus, you can expect wider nationality in our campuses. So we have the number of courses that we have that you can study. At the bachelor degree level, at the undergraduate level, we have 6 courses, 5 bachelor degree and 1 diploma of business. So we have the Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Business Accounting, Bachelor of Business Hospitality and Tourism Management, Bachelor of Business Management, and Bachelor of Business Marketing. These are the 5 bachelor degree options students have. Now, Bachelor of Business Accounting has accreditations from 3 accreditation associations. One is CPA and CA and ACCA. The 5 qualifications can be, we can do a package program with Diploma of Business and going into bachelor degree. That option is available. Currently for Nepal market, we do not offer Diploma of Business, but we are looking at revising our requirements to be able to accept students into our diploma programs as well. That is not finalized as yet, but we will give that information very soon. Before end of this year, you will get to know that as well. The undergraduate qualifications are generally 3-year duration, but students can do a fast track and complete in 2 years as well. So they can do a 3-year bachelor degree or 2-year bachelor degree or anywhere in between 2 years or 3 years, depending on the number of subjects they undertake. We have a trimester mode system. So we have a March intake, July intake, and November intake. So 3 intakes available for students to study. And that will take them through these 3 intakes, and they can take on more subjects to complete the qualification faster. At the master's level, postgraduate level, students have a few more options available here. So we have listed in there 10 courses plus a postgraduate qualifying program. But for Nepalese students who are looking to do a 2-year master's course, there are only 3 options available in here. The business analytics is a fantastic course to go into because this is the future. We talk about analysts these days and look at the number of jobs available in the business analytics area. It's immense. And future is all about analytics, because if you look at Netflix, for an example, is a perfect example that I can give you, is that when you go into Netflix, you watch a movie, the next set of movies are the ones that based on what you watched the first one. How do they know that? Because somebody is working in the background doing all the consumer behavior analytics. And this is basically what the future is going to be. And the growth rate in jobs is much more higher. I think with the pandemic, it has become much more high demand growth sector right now around the world. And this is one of the courses that the students can go into. The Master of Business Analytics extension is the best course to go into for Nepalese students, because the extension course is the 2-year course. The Master of Business Analytics alone is 1 year and 8 months. So that's a shorter duration master's. But any students who is applying for future post-study work programs, then Master of Business Analytics is the best course to go into. That is the extension that I'm talking about. The second option students can choose is Master of Business Administration. Master of Business Administration is a fantastic course. It's a 12-subject course. There are no final exams in any of the subjects in that course. And there are 7 specializations. So I will not talk too much about it. The next slide will talk about the 7 specialization. I'll go through that. And the third course that I could present is Master of Accounting. The Master of Accounting is 16 subjects. It has internship. All of our masters will have internships again. And Master of Accounting will have ACCA, CIMA, and CPA accreditation as well. I'll go into Master of Business Administration a bit more detail, because this is a high demand course and lots of students are interested in Master of Business Administration. I mentioned there are 7 specializations in Master of Business Administration. The first one is Women in Leadership. This is the only course that you'd find in Australia, Women in Leadership, as part of Masters in Australia. This is the only course. We are the first provider to come up with Women in Leadership. Second option would be project management. So anyone who is coming from the engineering background or any technical background can go into project management. Digital management, so if anyone is coming from IT sector, that will be a good course to go into. Hospitality and tourism leadership is another course that is another specialization students can undertake. Health services management, right now, of course, we are in this pandemic, and health services management is quite large. Of course, you will find the number of career opportunities and career growth in health services sector is substantial. And I'll talk about a particular scholarship that is attached to health services management that we are offering right now. And for March intake, I'll go through that at the end. The next specialization is entrepreneurship and then international leadership. There are 7 specializations. Now, Master of Business Administration, I mentioned there are no final exams in this course. It is workshop delivery, and we will have industry practitioners who will be teaching in our classrooms. A student may ask, okay, we have 7 specialization, but I don't want to do any specialization. What do I do? They can do generic masters. They don't need to do any specialization.
Okay.
But they say, okay, I want to do one specialization. That's fine. You select one. That will be your specialization. But what if I want to do 2 specializations? You can choose 2 specializations from here. Project management and women in leadership may be a good one. Project management and digital management may be a good one. Project management and entrepreneurship could be a good one. So you can mix and match and have 2 specialization. And next question they'll ask you, okay, if I do 2 specialization, will my course duration be longer? No, it'll be still 2 years. Will I have to pay more payment? Is there additional cost involved? No additional cost involved. How does it really work? We have 12 subjects, out of which there are 6 subjects that are the elective subjects, out of which 3 subjects will become a particular specialization attached subjects. If students select 2 specializations, the 6 elective subjects become core subjects. Therefore, all 12 subjects become core subjects. Now, if you didn't understand exactly what I said, go and have a chat with Umesh and Prabin, and they will be able to sit down and explain all those details. Let me go into the next slide. That's the important dates. So the intake dates right now, we have March intake, that is trimester 1. July intake, trimester 2, and trimester 3 will be November intake, as I mentioned earlier. So we have a March intake, July intake, November intake. You can start in any of our intakes. The next intake is March, and if the borders are not open, we have a online delivery system available, so you can study from offshore online. And when the borders open, of course, you can come into Australia. That option is available. But if you are not looking to study online and wanting to wait until the borders open, the future intakes will be available in July and November as well. But I would strongly suggest our March intake, if at all possible, to do our online option, because we have a great feedback from our students. Our rating has been fabulous in our online delivery as well. And we truly take care of our students. That is one of the things that we do very well at Kaplan Business School. Now, every course comes at a cost. And this is where Nepalese students will say, okay, you told me all this about individual attention and career growth and all these things and the courses, but what is the price that I have to pay for this? Kaplan Business School, there are 2 things that we do, that we promise to our students. One is affordability. Second is quality. Affordability, quality, and therefore you get a very good value out of the courses that you study at Kaplan Business School. Therefore, our prices are affordable as well. So if you look at our course prices, our bachelor degree is $54,000. That is for the 3-year bachelor degree. If you divide that by 3, it will come to $18,000. Now you will see 2020 student fees there. I kept it there because there are no increase when it comes to 2021. We decide to freeze our 2021 pricing and keep it at 2020 pricing. So the bachelor degree is $18,000. Any of our masters is between $22,000 to $23,000, and that's the range, $22,000 to $23,000. And this particular pricing is very much suitable for the students in Nepal. It's an affordable price at a very good quality institution. Some of our industry accreditations that we have here, just before I go into this, I'll also describe the entry requirements. And when you go into our website, it'll give you all the details. But I think in addition to that, we have something called GTE requirement, which requires a little higher than our entry requirement. So if you are coming into our bachelor degree courses, what we require from your +2, 11 and 12th is 2.6 GPA. 2.6 GPA minimum. IELTS requirement is 2.6. I'm sorry, let me repeat again. 2.6 GPA. IELTS requirement is 6.0. Speaking and writing 6.0. Listening and reading 5.5. That's the minimum that we require. For any of our master's courses, what we require is a local university, one of the Section 1 university in Nepal, bachelor degree, 2.6 CGPA, plus we will require IELTS the same as bachelor degree, 6.0, speaking and writing 6.0, listening and reading 5.5. Those are the minimum requirement. Do we have English packages available if you are a master's students? Yes, we do have English packages, but currently we are doing certain reviews when it comes to our entry requirement, but those reviews will be finalized very soon. Keep in touch with Umesh and Prabin. They will be able to give you more details about the entry requirements. The industry associations, industry accreditations, I mentioned about CPA, CA, and ACCA for our master's qualification. In addition to that, we have SAS, a joint certificate for our business analytics courses awarded on the completion of any of our masters in business analytics. And we also have IAPA membership for our students, and that will give industry relevant benefits as well. And I talked about earlier employment partners, the Career Central. These are where our students go in and get work placement. This is the internship that I'm talking about. These are some of the companies. You can see Ernst & Young and PwC, the top accounting firms around the world. And we have Marriott, we have KPMG, and the well-known institutions, Mantra Group, and so on. These are places where we have students doing internship and currently working in these institutions as well. So if you go into LinkedIn or Facebook, type in careers, and you will see Kaplan Business School career videos, and you will see lots of those student alumni who talk about which organizations they are working in, and some of those advice that they can give you about how they managed to find those opportunities and how Kaplan Business School helped them find those opportunities. So keep of course, all of you on internet. Go online and have a look at what students are saying about Kaplan Business School. With that, Umesh, I conclude my presentation.
Thank you very much. तपाईं अभिभावकहरू फेसबुक लाइभबाट हेरिरहनु भएको छ अथवा तपाईं विद्यार्थी अभिभावकहरू जुम क्लोज सेसनमा एटेन्ड गरिरहनु भएको छ। मलाई लाग्छ सिनियर रिजनल म्यानेजरले भन्नुभएको, गोबी सरले बताउनु भएका सबै कुराहरू यहाँले बुझ्नुभयो। लेट मी टक इन नेपाली इन सर्ट। यहाँले बुझ्नुभयो कि कप्लान बिजनेस स्कुल एउटा भिन्दै परिचय बनाएको अस्ट्रेलियाको एउटा हायर एडुकेसन प्रोभाइडर हो। यसका कोर्सेसहरुको विषयमा पनि यहाँले जान्नुभयो, थाहा पाउनुभयो होला। यसमा चाहिँ वाइड रेन्ज अफ सर्भिसेसहरुको विषयमा नि बुझ्नुभयो होला। यहाँलाई म बताउन चाहन्छु यो कप्लान बिजनेस स्कुल इन्डिभिजुअल सपोर्टमा विश्वास राख्दछ, रियल वर्ल्ड रेलेभेन्सीमा विश्वास राख्दछ, इन्डस्ट्री एक्सपिरियन्स लेक्चररहरुबाट सानो ग्रुपमा, स्मल ग्रुपमा अध्ययन अध्यापन गराउने भएकोले यहाँहरूलाई बुझ्न र बुझाउने कुरामा सजिलो रहन्छ। त्यसैले क्वालिटी एडुकेसनको विषयमा अश्योर हुनुपर्ने एउटा क्वालिटी एडुकेसन पाइन्छ भन्ने कुराको विश्वासको कुरा यसबाट रह्यो। यहाँले बुझ्नुभयो हामी ब्याचलर कोर्समा रहेका कोर्सहरू, मास्टर युजी र पिजी अन्डर ग्रेजुएट कोर्सेसहरूको विषयमा नि जानकारी पाउनुभयो, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट कोर्सेसहरूको विषयमा नि जानकारी पाउनुभयो, फी स्ट्रक्चरको विषयमा पनि यहाँले जानकारी पाइसक्नु भएको छ। यो असाध्यै अफोर्डेबल छ र क्वालिटीको विषयमा पनि असाध्यै क्वालिटी केन्द्रित छ। र तपाईँ चाहनुहुन्छ यसको विषयमा, जस्तै तपाईँका कतिवटा कोर्सेसहरू हुन्छन्, कतिवटा इलेक्टिभ कोर्सेसहरू हुन्छन् भन्ने विषयमा तपाईँ चाहनुहुन्छ भने वी आर जस्ट नेक्स्ट टु यु। हामीले नेपाली विद्यार्थी अभिभावकहरूको असजिलोलाई, यो पेन्डेमिकको सिचुएसनको असजिलोलाई मध्यनजर गरेर 24/7 स्टुडेन्ट काउन्सलिङ सर्भिस व्यवस्था गराएका छौँ। त्यसैले तपाईँ हामीलाई भिडियोबाट, तपाईँलाई हामीले भिडियोबाट पनि, भिडियो कन्सल्टिङबाट पनि तपाईँलाई हामी करियर काउन्सलिङ गर्छौँ, जुम सेसनबाट पनि तपाईँलाई करियर काउन्सलिङ गर्छौँ, मेसेन्जरको माध्यमबाट पनि तपाईँलाई करियर काउन्सलिङ गर्छौँ, व्हाट्सएप, भाइबर लगायतका विभिन्न सोशल साइट्सका माध्यमहरूबाट पनि तपाईँलाई गर्ने भएकोले हामी तपाईँलाई अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छौँ, किप इन टच टु अस if you get any confusion. Yeah, I have few questions of the students. Yeah, students have the question regarding scholarships, funds and scholarships. I hope about the funds, they already got the information.
That's right. So I've realized that this question will come up, and let me have the PowerPoint slide open up because I didn't include in the earlier PowerPoint slide. Let me introduce 3 scholarships to you right now that we offer. The first scholarship is Higher Achiever Scholarship. And we get a lot of Nepalese students who tend to be eligible for this scholarship, especially if they're coming from Pokhara University or Tribhuvan University. We get a lot of students who get 3.8, 3.83, 3.85 CGPA. So if you have more than 90% or more than 3.8 CGPA, you will be eligible for, you may be eligible for Higher Achiever Scholarship. And that requires 300-word essay and an application form and meeting the English entry requirement. So that is first scholarship that we have. Now, as a thank you to the health workers during this pandemic, the health workers have put forward their life online to save others, not only in Australia, but also around the world. And we want to thank the health workers. When I say health workers, it's primary healthcare workers, those who are nurses, doctors, the physiotherapists, the medical practitioners in the hospital and care homes and so on. They will be eligible for 50% scholarship. Now, what we require is for them to meet the entry requirement, that is 2.6 GPA and so on, and meeting the IELTS requirement. But one more requirement is they have to have 1 year work experience during this COVID-19 period, serving in hospitals or serving in medical centers. If they have 1 year work experience, 50% scholarship, they can apply for as well. That is a primary healthcare scholarship. It is only available for our T1 intake, unfortunately. That is March intake. And we won't be offering it afterwards, and there is no addition to offer it in the future, but it's only available for T1. In fact, we introduced it last year for our July intake and November intake, and the last intake would be our March intake. Regional scholarship is available for anyone who has more than 3.0 GPA or anyone who has 65% or above. What we require is a 500-word essay and meeting English entry requirement. And those are the 3 scholarships that we have at the moment. We also have, in addition to that, if anyone is studying online with us, For March intake, they will be eligible for 20% fee reduction during the period of their online study overseas. Suppose if a student starts in our March intake and studies online in Nepal, the number of subjects that will be doing online in Nepal, they will be eligible for 20% fee reduction. In addition to that, they will be eligible for $500 credit towards their intake as well. This is to recognize online education. Of course, they are not in Australia, so they require a certain fee reduction. Second is during this pandemic, we decided to offer some credit to the students' education so that they can have some sort of financial relief as well.
Excellent. I believe यो फेसबुक लाइभ र जुम सेसनमा रहनुभएको अभिभावक विद्यार्थीहरूले स्कलरसिपको विषयमा पनि जानकारी पाइसक्नु भएको म विश्वास राख्दछु। दोहोर्याउन चाहन्छु, हायर अचिभर स्कलरसिप जो 30% पाउनुहुन्छ, यसको लागि मिनिमम एकाडेमिक एभरेज 90% हुनुपर्छ अथवा अबोभ 3.8 सम्म रहनुपर्छ। इङ्ग्लिसको बेसिक इन्ट्री रिक्वायरमेन्ट मिट गर्नुपर्छ। अघि हामीले कुरा गरिसकेका छौँ इङ्ग्लिसको विषयमा 6 ओभरअल चाहियो, तर यसमा चाहिँ इम्पोर्टेन्टली के बुझिदिनु पर्यो भने राइटिङ र स्पिकिङमा चाहिँ 6 भन्दा कम हुनु भएन। 6 नट लेस देन 5.5 बट 6 इन राइटिङ एन्ड स्पिकिङ। 500 वर्ड एसेको कुरा त भइ नै हाल्यो। प्राइमरी हेल्थ केयर स्कलरसिपको विषयमा नि जानकारी भइसकेको छ। रिजनल स्कलरसिप 10% को विषयमा नि कुरा भइसकेको छ, जसको लागि अन्डर ग्रेजुएट र पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट स्टुडेन्टहरूले 3 GPA और 3 CGPA ल्याएको हुनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा पनि भयो। सँगसँगै कुनै नेपाली विद्यार्थीहरू जो मार्च इन्टेकको लागि इनरोल हुनुभएको छ र उहाँहरूको क्लास अनलाइनबाट सञ्चालित छ भने उहाँहरूले पाउने स्कलरसिपको विषयमा पनि गोबी सरले बताइसक्नु भएको छ। म दोहोर्याउन चाहन्छु, 20% स्कलरसिप पाउनुहुनेछ, फेरि $500 Australian पनि यहाँले पाउनुहुनेछ। Thank you very much, Gobi. Now I have the question regarding packaged course. About the packaged course, I believe all the students already have received the information from Gobi that diploma leading to bachelor is still in discussion phase.
That is correct. So it's not finalized yet. The current requirement is that the student needs to fulfill the minimum entry requirement to get into any of our bachelor degree or even master's degree. Excuse me. But we are looking into the big package courses, but those are not finalized yet.
Okay, about the package, because I believe this question might be asked from the PG students. PG students might have the less score in academics and might have thought about PQP leading to masters related to packaged course. Packaged course of post-graduation might be the question.
When it comes to postgraduate courses, we haven't decided as to whether to provide the postgraduate qualifying program PQP course. All these years we have not been offering that. It's only the master's course that we offer, and the minimum requirement is 2.6 to get into any of our masters. And in the future, we are not very clear whether we will be offering that in the future, but I would ask the students to keep in touch with Umesh, because as soon as we make a decision, those decisions will be informed formally to Umesh, and Umesh can pass that information on to you.
Sure. And one question is regarding what is about the enrollment at MBA for the non-business students?
Yeah, sure. So that's a very good question, because our MBA is a course that is more versatile. When I say versatile, you come from a lot of backgrounds and you can come into our MBA. For an example, if anyone is coming from engineering, they can look at MBA specializing in project management. If they're coming from IT background, they can look at MBA in digital management.
Correct.
If they're coming from different background, they might be able to find this particular MBA specialization will suit their field. So this is the course itself is built to wider audience, and what suits you is based on what your previous qualification and previous experience and previous background you'd find one particular specialization that might add value to you than the other specialization. So to answer this question, Umesh, majority of the students who come from other backgrounds can look at our MBA and one of the specializations will fit their needs.
Correct. Okay. The students are requested just to be in touch so that we'll make them clear about the, what are the eligibility that they need to have. It might be the matter of academic percentage or IELTS score or year of education, no, they completed. Fine, that's fine. And one question, still I have a question about the funds. Who can be the sponsors in the case of loan, or what is the case about deposits?
Good question. So let me make it very clear in terms of our GT guidelines. The parents and the grandparents and siblings can do 100% when it comes to becoming a financial sponsor. An uncle and aunt and in-laws can be 40% in their financial sponsorships.
In any cases, either it is the case of deposits or is a case of loan.
It is more of a case of loans. If they are showing their loans and if they are showing their bank balance, parents, grandparents, siblings can show 100%, and uncle and aunt and in-laws can only show 40%. When it comes to deposit, of course, we don't go through those details ourselves.
Okay.
So deposit can come from anywhere, but we need to see where the money is coming from, who is actually sponsoring this student.
Okay, it means the mutual fund deposited by any of the things is for the, as you said, 40% from in-laws and uncle and aunt, and parents,
That's right.
grandparents, siblings. They are fantastic. They are fine.
They can do 100%. Yes.
म विश्वास राख्छु तपाईं अभिभावक विद्यार्थीहरू जो फेसबुक लाइभमा हुनुहुन्छ अथवा तपाईं जुम सेसनको क्लोज इन्टरेक्सन सेसनमा हुनुहुन्छ, तपाईले बुझिसक्नु भएको छ तपाईको फन्डको विषयमा। तपाईको प्यारेन्ट्स, ग्रान्ड प्यारेन्ट्स एउटा परिवारभित्र हुनुहुन्छ भने उहाँहरूको 100% हुने कुरा स्वाभाविक भइगयो। तर तपाईं इन-लज प्यारेन्ट्सबाट स्पोन्सर होस् भन्ने चाहनुहुन्छ, अथवा तपाईको अङ्कल आन्टबाट स्पोन्सर होस् भन्ने चाहनुहुन्छ, अथवा तपाईको रिलेटिभ जो अस्ट्रेलियामा हुनुहुन्छ उहाँबाट होस् भन्ने चाहनुहुन्छ भने त्यो केसमा तपाईले सम्झिनु पर्यो दे आर इन्टाइटल्ड टु स्पोन्सर फर 40%। उहाँहरूको स्पोन्सरशिपलाई चाहिँ 40% को रूपमा मात्रै बुझ्न सकिनेछ। म विश्वास राख्छु तपाईं अभिभावक विद्यार्थीहरू क्लियर हुनुहुन्छ। फिल फ्री टु लेट अस नो, वी आर जस्ट नेक्स्ट टु यु। हामी तपाईहरुको सर्भिसमा 24 घण्टा छौं, 24/7 छौं। त्यसैले तपाईलाई कुन मिडिया कम्फर्टेबल रहन्छ, कलबाट तपाईं काउन्सेलिङ लिन चाहनुहुन्छ, भिडियो कन्सल्टिङ गर्न चाहनुहुन्छ, मेसेन्जरमा इन टच हुन सक्नुहुन्छ, लेट अस नो, वी आर जस्ट नेक्स्ट टु यु। अब यसै गरी मसँग एउटा मलाई लाग्छ यो इम्पोर्टेन्ट क्वेशन पनि हो। व्हाट आई थिंक दिस क्वेशन इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट। द स्टुडेन्ट शी वान्ट्स टु नो व्हाट आर द बैंक्स दैट यु एक्सेप्ट।
That's a very good question, Umesh. Currently, we have number of banks that we accept, but we are again doing a review of all of our banks, financial institutions as well.
Correct.
The current banks that we accept, or current financial institutions that we accept, are SBI, Nabil, Everest Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of Kathmandu, Lumbini Limited, Global IME, NIC, NMB, Himalayan Bank, Nepal Investment Bank, Siddhartha, Sanima, Lakshmi, and Sunrise. Those are the banks that we accept at the moment. But we are looking into a bit more wider acceptance of banks as well. We are doing a review. But when that review is completed, I will formally inform Umesh, and Umesh can give you those details. Now, those review will be conducted by end of this year. I'm hoping that it'll be completed by end of this year. But if it goes on to next year, I think beginning of next year, by the 15th of January, we should be able to finalize all of that. And we'll be able to inform that. So we are looking at Class A banks only, but we may be selective in terms of which banks that will be accepting. But currently, the ones that I read out are the ones that we are currently accepting.
ओके, थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच। म नेपाल विद्यार्थी अभिभावकहरूलाई चाहिँ फेरि दोहोऱ्याउन चाहन्छु, तपाईहरुको स्मरणको लागि म फेरि बताउन चाहन्छु, कप्लान बिजनेस स्कुलको एक्सेप्टेबल बैंकमा नबिल, एसबीआई, स्ट्यान्डर्ड चार्टर, लुम्बिनी, हिमालयन बैंक, एनआईबीएल, नेपाल इन्भेस्टमेन्ट बैंक लिमिटेड, सिद्धार्थ बैंक, सनराइज बैंक, लक्ष्मी बैंक, सानिमा बैंक, एनआईसी एशिया बैंक, ग्लोबल आईएमई बैंक, एनएमबी बैंक, एभरेस्ट बैंक। म आशा राख्छु तपाई फेसबुकबाट लाइभबाट सुनिरहनु भएको अभिभावकहरूले विद्यार्थीहरूले कप्लान बिजनेस स्कुलको इन्फर्मेसन एकुरेट इन्फर्मेसन पाइरहनु भएको छ। यो हामी चाहन्थ्यौँ तपाईहरुलाई फर्स्ट ह्यान्ड इन्फर्मेसन डेलिभर गर्न सकियोस्। यही अभियानले तपाईहरुको लागि फर्स्ट ह्यान्ड इन्फर्मेसन कलेजको अथोरिटीबाट डेलिभर गर्न सकियोस् भन्ने जुन हाम्रो सोचका साथ आज हामी जुन लाइभ र फेसबुकमा जोडिएका छौँ, हामी आशा गर्छौँ तपाईहरुले यो इन्फर्मेसन पाइरहनु भएको छ। तपाईलाई जानकारी गराउन चाहन्छौँ, यदि तपाई कप्लान बिजनेस स्कुलको कुनै पनि कोर्समा आफ्ना बाबु नानीहरूलाई इनरोल गर्न चाहनुहुन्छ वा भनौँ तपाई अध्ययन गर्न चाहनुहुन्छ भने लेट अस नो, वी आर नेक्स्ट टु यु। हामी तपाईको लागि 24/7 सर्भिस प्रोभाइड गरिरहेका छौँ। मैले भन्नुपर्छ, यो कोभिडको सिचुएसनले गर्दा प्री अपोइन्टमेन्ट पाएर मात्र हामीले हाम्रो अफिसबाट सर्भिस गरिरहेका छौँ। अगाडि नै तपाईले अपोइन्टमेन्ट लिनुभयो भने तपाईलाई हामी अफिसमा भेट्न सक्छौँ। अदरवाइज we fully should depend on digitally. Yeah, thank you very much, Gobi. We have covered most of the issues. Shrisha, Gobi, do you have any question that you want to put for the Nepalese students?
To the Nepalese students, my suggestion is this: to any Nepalese students who are listening to this, is let it be an advice that when you are selecting a course, this is a course that you're going to select and you're going to study for the next few years. It's not just few months. You're going to be spending, investing a lot of your energy and time and money into a qualification that is going to give you the ultimate reward. So my advice has always been this, and is been what I've been telling all my students as well whenever I get a chance to talk to, is to select a course that you are passionate about, that you are that you see where you will continue in your career, and that is the best way to select a course. And let it be a course that you are going to enjoy it so much. And if it is such that you are going to do a business related course, Kaplan Business School can give you a personalized attention that is going to give you a career focused delivery. And there is a lot of benefit in studying in a provider like Kaplan Business School that has a global recognition as well. So if you are looking to study a business course, Kaplan Business School may be a suitable institution for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Srisha, do you have any words to the students?
I think Gobi has covered almost everything, and yes, I would just say, see, due to this pandemic, many students are hesitant to study online. But believe me that yes, although you will have totally a different experience when you come to Australia and study, but online studies would have the same quality as the face-to-face studies with Kaplan Business School. So yes, you can. The students, you can apply openly to Kaplan Business School and start your studies online. And then when the borders open, you can come down face-to-face.
Yeah, Gobi, we have to talk about long history of Kaplan for online education. Because most of the providers, they started online education only after this pandemic. But Kaplan Business School has a very good history, long history of providing online education. Gobi, do you want to add on it?
Sure, I can add that. So Kaplan Business School has been doing online delivery for the last 7 years, Umesh.
Correct.
So we've been doing our MBA program online for the last 7 years. And we have our Master Business Analytics program that have been running for online as well. We have online and classroom delivery options. And when it comes to when the pandemic hit, of course, we weren't really struggling too much to get our courses online, because our courses were online already. And the platform was ready for us to be able to deliver online. So our experience of delivering online has been quite a long period of delivery. So when we started delivering online, the students who were in the face-to-face classroom didn't see major difference with online and classroom deliveries. The only difference that they felt was, of course, the students that they met earlier in the classroom, they didn't have that personal touch and personal attachment. Of course, with the pandemic, with everyone with social distancing and so on, they understood it. But in terms of the quality of delivery online, Kaplan Business School was able to keep that standard similar to our face-to-face delivery. And students have appreciated it even when we looked at, when we went into online delivery in March intake, when we started offering face-to-face delivery, because in Australia, our pandemic situation was not bad during the July intake. So most of our campuses decided to offer, in addition to online, classroom delivery as well. A lot of students decided not to take in classroom delivery, and they continued online delivery. So 90% of our students, even though they have the option of studying online, studying in the classroom, they decided to study online. And the feedback as from the students and the survey from the students have been fabulous online delivery.
Thank you very much. Yeah, okay. I must welcome my global director, Praveen. Praveen, yeah, म तपाईँ अभिभावक विद्यार्थीहरूलाई जानकारी दिन चाहन्छु जसरी तपाईलाई नेपालमा शताक्षी एडुकेसनलले सहयोग गर्छ क्लोजली, त्यसै गरी तपाईको बाबु नानीहरूको अथवा तपाईको अस्ट्रेलियाको बसाई, अस्ट्रेलियाको पढाइ सजिलो होस् भन्नको लागि हाम्रो टिम अस्ट्रेलियाको डिफ्रेन्ट लोकेसनमा हुनुहुन्छ। म यहाँलाई परिचय गराउन चाहन्छु। ग्लोबल हेड प्रवीण भण्डारी, बताउन चाहन्छु तपाईले हाम्रो सर्भिस ब्रिस्बेनबाट, एडिलेडबाट, होबार्टबाट, क्यानबेराबाट, गोल्ड कोस्टबाट पनि पाउन सक्नुहुनेछ। र सर्टली it's good news for Gobi too. We are opening our office in Sydney too.
It is fantastic.
Yes, great. Thank you, Umesh. He's my own brother as well. And welcome everyone to this special session. Actually, it is our pleasure to work with Kaplan since long time. And today, I'd like to tell you the wonderful news that in our team in Brisbane, we have got 3 team members starting at Kaplan. They have been doing their courses at Kaplan, and our experience, which tell us that what they are getting is fabulous, and the support they have been getting from campus, and everything is very that is incomparable to most of the provider which is available in the market. So it is our great pleasure to work with Kaplan Business School since long time. Thank you, Gobi, for this wonderful opportunity. You have been always there to support us, and it has been great help to us. And to the viewers, listeners, our client, student, I can see there are many students who have attended this session. I'd like to explain you that in Australia, we have got a Shatakshee Educational Foundation registered in Brisbane, but we have got also trading name as Himalayan Business Group, which is located in 5 major cities of Australia. That is Brisbane, Gold Coast, Adelaide, Hobart, and Canberra. So you can find us in every location across Australia. So we are very happy to assist you when you come back to Australia from Nepal, So in terms of getting further studies or extending your visas, in terms of education and immigration services, we have a team of registered migration agents, qualified education counselors, and you will be taken care very well here in Australia as well. So Kaplan itself, as Gobi mentioned, lots of things already. What we have found is many students who come to Australia, they try to change college later on when they arrive in Australia. But in our experience, when students choose Kaplan, they get the qualification and they do not need to worry about the changing college or changing location, because Kaplan has campuses in all major cities, including Brisbane, Adelaide, Sydney, Perth, Melbourne. Yeah, and we are very glad that Kaplan has all the supports for the students who are pursuing their further qualification during like COVID time as well, and many students got scholarship. And they were happy. And another good part of, at Kaplan is the student can study reduced load of study. For example, in bachelor, they can study just 3 subjects in a trimester. That is very important for students who come in Australia to study their even bachelor or master courses. You know, that they get that reduced study load, which obviously results in a low tuition fee payment, and they focus on their study very well and can get good results in their examination. You know, there are so many advantages of studying at Kaplan, and we are very happy and very excited and looking forward to get more applications for upcoming intake.
Yeah, thank you very much, Praveen. अब हामी हाम्रो सेसनको लगभग अन्तिममा आइपुगेका छौं, किनभने हाम्रो समय 1 घण्टा राखेका थियौं, तर यो एउटा वान अफ द बेस्ट प्रोवाइडर भएको कारणले, यसका प्रश्नहरू असाध्यै इम्पोर्टेन्ट आएको कारणले गोबी र शीर्षाको यो एकदम यो प्रिसियस टाइमलाई लामो समय नलिकन अब हामी लगभग सेसनको अन्त्यमा आइपुगेका छौं। अन्त्यमा तपाई सम्पूर्ण अभिभावक विद्यार्थी जसले हामीलाई क्लोज वेबिनारमा रहनुभयो अथवा जुम सेसनमा रहनुभयो अथवा फेसबुकबाट हेरिरहनु भएको छ, तपाईको कुनै पनि कन्फ्युजन, कुनै पनि डाउट छ भने कप्लान बिजनेस स्कुलमा पढ्ने सिलसिलामा यु आर मोस्ट वेलकम। वी आर जस्ट नेक्स्ट टु यु। तपाई सँगै हामी छौं र हामी तपाईलाई 24 घण्टा जस्ट लेट अस नो। अब हामी यो सेसनको अन्त्य सक्न लागेकोले अब म यो समय शताक्षी टिमको थ्याङ्कफुलनेस टु Gobi and Srisha for their precious time. We are indebted to all our parents and students who gave us good time to listen about KBS. Finally, it is my humble request to tell if anything, if you want to add. Praveen, do you want to add anything?
Valuable time, valuable for the valuable information to our clients and to our team member as well. Thank you for always being supportive, and we look forward to working you closely in days to come.
Gobi, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I've gone through most of the details. I don't think I have anything to add other than to thank you for your time. And thank you very much for your continued support, as well as thank you for all of our participants today. I mean, you dedicated your 1 hour's time today, and thank you very much for listening to us.